Next up, at UFC 285, we have Mateusz Gamrot taking on Jalin Turner. Mateusz Gamrot, 21-2 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off the decision loss to Beneil Dariush. Jalin Turner, 13-5 overall, 5-0 in his last 5, coming off the submission win over Brad Riddell. I was super, super confident in this, and now I'm starting to scare myself.
Everyone's doing that on this fight, I think. No matter what side they're on, it feels like everyone's like, oh, this for sure. And then everyone's like, at least in the Discord, it seems like everyone's getting pretty wishy-washy.
Yeah, well, and it's because Mateusz Gamrot's a nasty wrestler. A nasty wrestler. He does have some solid striking. My notes from the last fight, anytime I'm watching a fight live, I take notes live. My notes from the last fight were striking looked good, nonstop wrestling. I thought his striking looked pretty good in his last fight.
Well, against Dariush, yeah.
Okay, but fine. The biggest issue for Gamrot is he gets knocked down in every single fight. It basically means nothing. He pops right back up. He doesn't even lose his wits. It's crazy how quickly he recovers.
He literally disguises that Armin fight. He won that Armin fight because he disguised the knockdown. The judges did not think that was a knockdown because he went so quickly into the takedown. It looked like he just went for an entry. He was knocked down and boom, he was exploding. I literally think that the judges didn't see that as a knockdown because he won that. Yeah. They gave him that round and he got knocked down.
Yeah, well, so nonstop beast of a wrestler. He does have some pretty good striking. He gets dropped, but you can't even say he's got a bad chin necessarily because other than literally falling down, it doesn't mess him up. There's no recovery time.
We've had this argument before, and you're
and I was on the right side of it saying the opposite of what I'm saying now.
Though, because I said that against my Miguel Baeza that he does get hit and he does get clipped, but his chin's fine. He holds up, and you said that's stupid. That means he's chinny, and now you're saying the opposite. So.
And Jalin Turner hits like a truck. This dude's a very good striker. He does like to fight at range, but at the same time, he's still managing to come forward. He is a ridiculous 6'3", and he's one of the very few people that actually uses range well. We talk about all the time how people don't use range well. Looking at the reach and people, you'll watch every other breakdown channel. Well, he's got a half an inch reach advantage, which is absurd.
We never talk about that, yeah.
No, which is absurd because, first of all, it's on each arm. The reach is your wingspan.
I don't think a lot of people understand that. They think a 3-inch reach advantage. Oh, my God. And 3 inches, by the way, is more than you think. I mean, 3 inches is a lot bigger than you think. But in terms of reach, even 3 inches on one arm wouldn't be a lot. But it's not even that. It's 1.5 inches because it's your full wingspan. So when you say 3 inches, that means they can reach out 1.5 inches more than the other person. It's think about that. I mean, it doesn't make that big a difference.
No, and most people don't even know how to use it correctly. Jalen Turner does use his reach well. So, and that's what that setup was to say that we don't usually talk about reach because it doesn't matter. But Jalen does
talk about it.
Jalen does use it well. So I still think Gamrot's going to win this fight. If you go back, you watch Jalin Turner's fights, he has been out-wrestled. He's got a 77% takedown defense stat-wise, but Jamie Malarkey took him down. Brock Weaver took him down. Matt Frivola took him down 4 times.
He follows me on Twitter.
And Matt Frivola's a good wrestler, but Matt Frivola is taking you down 4 times, I imagine Gamrot's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do, wrestling-wise. People talk about Jalen's the long legs actually help wrestlers. You don't have to... Taking down a short, stocky guy is much harder to do than a long guy. He's obviously got to get inside the jabs. That's why you had such good
success. That's why you were such a successful wrestler. Short, very stocky, hairy.
I'm not hairy. I wish I was hairy. I've got
Prove it. Oh, what was that? Oh, showing off the ink a little bit.
It's a meathead tattoo, but 0 chest hair.
Oh, you guys see that? You better put some respect on his. I bet people didn't expect that. He's got the dad bod, showing off the tribal tat.
I'm not going to flex on camera. I'm not you. Anyway.
No problem with it.
Yeah, under 11 shirts, and God knows what's stuffed in there.
Who knows that thing's tight right there. That thing's tight right there. You want to come over and touch it? I'll show you something. I'll show you a stuffing. You want to come over? I'll show you something getting stuffed. Holy shit.
What do you think of this fight, you pervert?
Oh, were you done with your breakdown? Did you pick Gamrot?
No,
you picked Gamrot?
I did. I'm very confident. I have a moneyline bet on him, but I'm now scared. It's now my least confident bet.
Right. I mean, yeah, because anytime you see a guy that hits like Jalin Turner, I think that should give you some pause for the cause. And I hate this fight because, as you guys know, I'm a big Gamrot guy. He did embarrass me against Dariush because I said he was going to steamroll Dariush. Dariush, basically, all he did was show incredible defense. He had the knockdown, but he didn't really do much offensively. That's why, as Angel mentioned, Gamrot looked like he was doing well in that fight. He just couldn't quite keep the takedowns. He got 4 of them, but Dariush is very good defensively. It's going to steamroll Charles Oliveira. But Jalin Turner, what makes me most nervous about Jalin Turner, what I was going to say is I love Jalin Turner as well. So this matchup, he was going to steamroll Dan Hooker. I mean, there was no question about it. He was going to steamroll Dan Hooker and then takes one of the worst matchups he could probably take. And Jalin Turner, the way he's talking, he knows what to expect, right? He's saying, yeah, I know what Gamrot does. He shoots from pretty far away. And I think that Jalin thinks that he's going to see the shots coming, because Gamrot does shoot from pretty far away.
But he's so fast, and he changes directions halfway through.
And Jalin thinks that, okay, I see it on film, I'm going to be able to see it coming, and I'll have something waiting for him, right? That's Jalen's game plan. I don't have to defend the stuff. I can see the takedowns coming. I'll have something down the pipe, up the middle, uppercut, a knee, something waiting for him. But Gamrot is one of the only people, and I've talked about this time and time again, one of the only people I have ever seen in the UFC actually ankle pick people. I mean, the speed at which he drops levels and gets on people, he literally will ankle pick people in the open mat. Just grab the back, I mean, just rip them down. And I've never seen anyone do that in the UFC at this level, this day and age. I mean, maybe it was happening back when people didn't know, but I mean, this day and age, to ankle pick people, the speed at which he does it. So my pause for Jalin is he thinks he knows what's coming, but that speed is going to be much, much different once you're in there. Yes, Jalen's going to be live with the shots. I even have bets on him because I think he is more live than people give him credit for. Gamrot is, a pretty chinny guy. I mean, I guess we're not going to have that argument again, but he does get hit, and there's no question about that. So Jalen's going to be live, but damn it, man, Gamrot is just so relentless. He gets better as the fights go on as well. He is just going to drown this kid, Jalin. I wish that Jalin did not take this fight because I'm a big Jalin Turner guy. He would have smoked Dan Hooker. I don't think this will set him back too much because it is what it is. He's just getting out-wrestled.
Especially if he's just out-wrestled. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is, but and he cannot be the guillotine guy. He's probably going to be, we talk about it week after week, pulling guillotines. You're not going to submit Gamrot with I promise you, you are not going to submit Gamrot with he just knows where to be on every single takedown. He can out-scramble those situations. You can't be the guillotine guy. I feel like Jalen's going to be the guillotine guy as well, and that's going to be his downfall. I'm Gamrot. I'm a little bit higher than most, but I do have my hedges with the Jalin Turner knockouts for sure.
Yeah, the line has done some weird yo-yoing because he was all the way down in the -1s. Now he's coming back up. Like the Gamrot line is sort of all over the place. I got 1.5 units on him. I got it at -190. I'm very thankful for that because, it is all over the place, frankly.
Well, I think people don't know what to do with him after that Dariush loss because it wasn't a bad loss. I mean, he looked bad. I mean, he got dropped in it, but as you mentioned, it wasn't like a bad drop. And he was basically just out defended by. I mean, he was working. I mean, he shot like something like 20-some takedowns.
You could have given him the decision, and I don't think people would have screamed and yelled about it because they would have been like, Beneil can't win a fight. If it wasn't for if
he did not get knocked down, it would have been a lot closer for sure, I think.
Yeah, because all Beneil did was defend takedown. It was the best takedown defense I've ever seen in my life.
Right. Yeah,
but all he did was defend takedowns. And even then, he didn't defend all the takedowns. He was still taken down 4 times.
Right.
So the guy with arguably the best takedown defense in the UFC was still taken down 4 times. And that's all this is. We think Gamrot's going to out-wrestle Jalin Turner. It is short notice for Gamrot, but we're not talking 2 weeks. This is like a month. Right?
He's a guy that just wrestles all the time.
It's like 3 weeks or a month. This isn't like super short notice.
That's my dude. I do love Jalin, man. I'll be rooting for him too. I'll be at the fights, and I love Gamrot, but he embarrassed me against Dariush. I'm gonna be rooting for. I literally am gonna be rooting for Jalin. I hope he gets it done. That'll be a big moment for him. It'll be bigger for Jalin to win this than it will for Gamrot. Gamrot had his chance against a top contender, Dariush. He fucking blew it. So I'm rooting for Jalin for 100%.
Well, not me. I've got money on this. DraftKings, $8,600. I think if I get out of my own head and stop scaring myself for no reason, I think $8,600 is a solid price point for a guy that could potentially... He got 4 takedowns and a loss. So in a fight like this against Jalin Turner, who's not going to have the takedown defense of Beneil Dariush, we've seen him not have that takedown defense. Matt Frivola beat him with 4 takedowns. Gamrot should be able to do that, no problem whatsoever. And I understand Jalen's takedown defense has gotten better since then, but Gamrot is
top level,
much better than Frivola. Like,
level.
It's, you know.
And I will say, too, and I mentioned this, I think, a couple times, I don't think this fight is close either way. I think Gamrot either comes in and looks like Chimaev versus Holland, gets an immediate takedown, is able to control him, find a submission, whatever it is, or Jalen Turner is able to hit him early and put him away. I don't think this is a back-and-forth fight. I don't think it's like Jalen defending, getting back to his feet. Somebody is going to shine in this matchup. And honestly, like I said, I hope it's Jalen.
Yeah, I obviously hope it's Gamrot. I think it will be Gamrot, and I think $8,600 in DraftKings is worth it. But there's a lot of you very, very confident on Jalen Turner. To Jacob's point, you probably have to have one of these guys in your lineup, because if Jalen wins, it's by knockout. He's not going to win the Beneil fight. And if Gamrot wins, it's with a bunch of control time, potentially a submission. And if you want to see all those bets, WeWantPicks.com. Sign up, become a premium member, only $10 a month. This week, there's a lot of bets going. Jacob has gone especially wild. I have put notes in there because you distinguished a few bets like, hey, these are just fun, high-risk bets.
Little disclaimers in there.
So I have the notes in there. So when you're going through, take a look.
Those are my Vegas bets.
The premium member safety parlay is up. I have 4 legs going, and if you remember, we are up over 21 units of net profit. Net means you got your money back on the bet, and the rest of it is just money you put in your pocket. 21 units of net profit on that safety parlay over the last 12 events. So let's just keep that going.